Mr. Osier, you lucked out this year.
You're in the minor.
Yeah, you went down $20. Mr. Vadney, $366.27. Myself, $832.75. Mr. Zosky, $486.51. Most of us are in that 9%. Mrs. O'Hara took the biggest increase of roughly 15%. She's not alone.
That's residential only, though, Paul?
Yeah, it's residential.
Okay, you realize that some of these people, myself, Mrs. Bonioli included, we also pay other taxes to the town of North Smithfield.
Well, let's just talk residential.
I understand that, but you can't just look at residential in one little picture. There's three categories here. Now, the reality is part of what's putting us in this predicament. One is revale, which we have no control over.
Right.
The market just went on fire just before revale came in, and prices went up.
Everybody wants to live here.
We have no control. We have no control over that. We have no control over that. The other side of it is, though, is our tangible numbers. Tangibles this year alone, even at that rate or the higher rate, at the $42.99 that it was at before, our tangibles, we've lost $826,000 of revenue from last year to this year. We've lost $1.7 million over the last 3 years in our tangible account. There's no way to make that up except to go to the other two ratepayers. And as Mr. Yazbek said, 5 years ago, I cautioned the town that building a budget on tangible increases was not the right way to go, that there would be a tsunami. That was the exact term I used. There would be a tsunami coming as the rates kept going down, 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 as we were piling tangible money into it, that they would come back like a tsunami. We're there. We're there this year. There's no getting around it. And we're trying to, and you know, the administration is coming with something I think is balanced, that reflects that, that tries to take everybody into consideration with a fair balance. We're trying to focus only on one group of people, make them happy, or to try to make it palatable to them. But there's two other groups of people in the room too, and we need to address it all. And we need to hit the balance. And you know what? I think they really hit the balance. I calculated some numbers on my own before they even ran those new numbers that we got from the tax assessor, bringing it down to that $15,911 and $42.99. They were fairly similar. They had the same result. My tangibles came down more. My commercial came down a little bit more, but my residential was a little bit higher to try and hit that balance and stuff. It wasn't what was advertised in the paper. And so, yeah, we can sit there and start, you know, moving this and moving that. We'll be here forever. We'll never get out of this room. We need to set the percent of the levy that we think is fair, and then let the computer, or let the people that run the computer put in the numbers and let the program run, and it will come out with a number similar to what we're looking at right here. I don't think we should be getting into the detail of this thing, saying once we set the percent, we should be getting into the detail of where we want the proposed rates to be. I think we're setting a bad precedent.
Try to develop numbers that are respectful of all classes, to avoid this circumstance of trying to do this kind of math in this setting. You know, I have to just say again that I am just dumbfounded that we will not hear from the business community that came from. I think that is abysmal on behalf of this council. I'm sorry.
You invited them.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you circumvented the Open Meetings Act. You didn't advertise it be an open session, but you invited guests and then want to...
They had no idea, neither did I, Mr. Clifford.
Gary, and you know damn well.
Oh, bring it. Bring it again and waste our time.
Yeah, I win.
Okay, so can I ask Claire, I just want to make sure. So initially, residential, Gary, is this what, tell me, this is what was posted in the Valley Breeze, was 16.34, and I'm sorry, what was the initial posting in the Valley Breeze?
If we took the percentages and tried to maintain the true
I'm looking for
Yeah, I'm gonna give-
compromise here.
I'm going to give you the answer to that, and that is the rates that I had originally forecast was to take the 2020 rate to 1634 for residential,
Yep.
1813 for commercial,
Right.
and 4078 for tangible. Even I recognize that we can't do that.
So now, you've come back with the help of the numbers and more up-to-date numbers stated, everything else. So residential would be 15.867, is that correct?
Correct,
And commercial would be 18.80, is that correct?
correct.
I'm comfortable.
So I'll ask again then, what is the pleasure of this board? Giving a list containing the full and fair cash valuation of each property class with the approval of the town council. Tax assessor will determine, or actually see the percentages of the tax rate, what's in each class. We can determine that right now.
I'd encourage you to
That's what's up there
consider.
right now. That's what's up there right now. Is I'm looking for a motion to accept and approve the percent of the 2020 levy as presented on that board of appeals.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bonneville. Is there a second?
Second with discussion.
Second by Mrs. Malinsky. Discussion.
Mr. President, I'm going to vote in the affirmative on this if indeed residential is set at 15.867, commercial is set at 18.80, intangibles are set at 40.78.
Question to the assessor. Question to the
I'm sorry, what I
assessor.
said, 40.78.
We approved the percent. If we approved the percent of the 2020 levy as presented up there, does it equate for those proposed rates, or might they change by a tenth of a percent or a penny, or that's the exact number?
No, that's, yeah, I'm comfortable with this, that it's gonna fall within, I might not hit the actual levy right on, but it's gonna fall between the low and the high, that's in the method of taxation, I'm comfortable.
So with, example, 15.7% of the residential levy will equate to a 15.867%
Yes,
tax rate.
yes,
We know that. That's a solid number.
yes.
Okay. That answers your question?
Well, I believe so, I want to crunch something before I make a statement, Mr. President.
I would just ask Mr. President, to restate the motion, because the numbers that were stated are not those numbers on the board. And you are setting those numbers. They're not going to change, the percentage is not going to change. That's exactly what you're doing right now.
The percent of the 2020 levy of
It's not going to
57.8.
change.
Yes.
That's not going to change. That's the
So we have a motion and a second that the percent of the 2020 levy will be 57.7% residential, 0.21% frozen, 17.56 of the commercial, 8.02 of the motor vehicles, and 16.5% of the tangibles. That's the motion, there's a second. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything?
Well, basically, from the initial go-around, and I know this was a moving target, I think the residents, hopefully they'll take solace in the fact that it's roughly 48 cents less per 1,000. And you know what, that's a lot of money. That's discretionary income that can be spent in our town's businesses for product and services. So you add up these hundreds of dollars that folks are going to be saving under what was originally proposed. I think we did the best we could with what we had.
Can I add one more thing? As we see some of the business people here, there are two generations of businesses. Their children used our services. The grandchildren are using the services. And I want to encourage these people to stay in this town. It can only become better. But I'll also encourage you to form your own business group and get people there. It hasn't worked before, like many other things that we started, but it can work. You're intelligent people, you're hardworking people, and if your business are successful, that your group can be successful.
Motion to adjourn.
So